Ow. I can't believe I'd even get to the freaking festival. Holy crap. What's up, guys? Punching the back at it again. I actually don't know if that meme's still going around, but back to finish Higurashi, Chapter 2, Watanagashi. I had to watch my own previous video to see where I left off, and last time we were talking to Jesus, I don't even remember what happened. Their names, muscle photographer and nurse girlfriend with Shion, remember the name, Shion, about the Watanagashi, about the legend. You know what, I've been talking too long, let's just go, right? Oh man, which one am I? I think I'm this one. Okay. Yeah, this is where I left off in the video, because that other save file was when I lost a bunch of things trying to back up my computer and messed up. Leaving the suddenness aside, the fact was that each incident involved one person disappearing. So that means the first person who dies is because of the Oyashira-sama's curse. And the second person who vanishes is because the villagers sacrificed them? Is that it? Punchy, there is no curse. Somebody kills the first person under the guise of the curse, and someone takes away the second person to be a sacrifice. But Shion, that means that the criminal's in the village. That's what I've been guessing from the start. It's pretty shocking though, you know? We live in the Showa period. It's kinda hard to believe people are committing murder like it's nothing, using some ancient justifications, huh? Well, this current time is further along than whenever this was made, and I'm pretty sure that still goes on. It didn't have anything to do with our discussion, but I got the feeling that maybe Shion didn't like Hinamizawa very much. That's why she doesn't live there. Mian enjoyed talking about Hinamizawa and its epic tales, so she had avoided talking about Oyashira-sama's curse, which didn't paint Hinamizawa in a good light, no matter how you looked at it. She was trying not to give me a bad impression of the village, so she didn't say anything. Shion, on the other hand, was somehow different. She wasn't rejecting the concept of a curse to purge Hinamizawa of this bad impression, but rather because she strongly believed that a member of the village was the criminal behind this. Her conviction seemed a bit removed from the tight sense of community held by the people of Hinamizawa. Well, we know better. Once upon a time, they looked so alike you could mistake one for the other. But talking to her now, I was getting a powerful feeling that Shion had a completely different personality than Mian. Actually, I was reading like a Reddit thing about twins. I think he was asking like the significant others how they feel, and most of them were like, yeah, it's kind of weird because I know what the other one looks like naked, but in reality they're not attractive at all because of the different personalities. So not that I'm saying no, we're not gonna go there. Then everyone else, they all think someone from Hinamizawa did it, right? Neither Shion nor Takano-san, that's nurse girlfriend, answered that. The deafening silence told me all that needed to be said. Then let me ask another question. If someone from Hinamizawa was the culprit, then who is it? Neither Shion nor Takano-san had a reply for that question either. Though it may have been rude to ask, I had hoped they wouldn't have one. The reason I asked was to argue that the explanation that the culprit was from Hinamizawa was nothing more than one possibility. Shion caught on to my plan. She gave me a pained smile at my petty spite and opened her mouth to speak. All I said really just amounts to circumstantial evidence anyway. If any of us knew who it really was, we'd have gotten them into police hands already. As would anybody. Then what about Takano-san? Ch.2 smiled dryly as she had opened her own mouth. Well, I'd like to clear one thing up. I'm not a detective or anything, alright? In all honesty, I'm not really interested in who the culprit is. I know I'm using, this is the PS2 games graphics, but I still have in my head, I can't remember his name right yet. Muscle photographer was a lot more defined. Takano-san, you sure are a handful. Tomitake, right, my brother. Tomitake-san gives a bitter laugh at her surprising opinion on the matter. You see, I just like cruel and atrocious ancient traditions and fairy tales. And you're free to like what you like, I guess. I only enjoy them from a curious onlooker's perspective. So even for this string of incidents, it's not so much finding out who the culprit is, but enjoying thinking about how old the traditions displayed by the incidents themselves still seems to have some pretty deep roots around here. Well, that's, true. We enjoy, looking at, oh, look at this weird BuzzFeed article, look at this weird marriage ritual and stuff. It's interesting to us. Though she described herself as nothing more than a curious onlooker, her smile was sharp as the tip of a blade. Women like her felt very strange and a little scary to me. Don't be afraid of a strong woman, Punchy. Excuse me. Ugh, good. Back. Okay, I'm a little sick. So occasionally I'll be ducking in and out for a nose blow. Maybe it's just that I was in fearful awe of the person whose emotions I couldn't comprehend. Well, I don't think any of this is interesting at all. The Watanagashi Festival is coming up tomorrow, but I don't want anyone to die or disappear. Tomorrow, huh? That's right. It had completely slipped my mind. The string of murder incidents people attributed to the Oyashira-sama's curse. It wasn't over. If Flash's incident wasn't the end, then tomorrow night at the festival, would someone die and someone disappear? No camera, buddy. I do wonder who will die tomorrow and who will disappear, though. Takano said, running a comb through her hair with elegant movements and with a thin smile and a voice that nearly made me shudder. She almost looked like she was enjoying the thought of incidents that could happen tomorrow. I mean, I'm sure she's one to enjoy like a Japanese horror film. Then, out of the blue, we'd heard a loud roar of applause. They seemed to be ending the drinking party early. Right, I was making Mian wait this whole time, wasn't I? I should go back to her soon. You're teasing the kid too much, Takano-san. Now Punchy-kun thinks it's all true. Hee, I apologize. It's that bad habit of mine again, said Takano-san, sticking out her tongue bashfully. The stranger's inner expression was nowhere to be found. Come on, we know better. Come on, Punchy. Even if they're telling us the truth, we can't, let ourselves be tricked. When Takano-san sees an innocent child like you, she can't help waiting to poke fun at them. It's really a bad habit. Punchy-kun, you listen to everything so earnestly that she ended up getting carried away. Unlike Takano-san, Tomitake-san seemed like a totally normal person with common sense. That's our boy. They were apologizing after realizing what kind of impression they'd given me. The stuff Takano-san just said is all fiction. If it made you harbor any bad impressions about Hinamazawa, then we do apologize for that. You guys didn't seem like he was, hiding it. Like, I don't think it's something that Punchy could fall for, really. Jeez, Judo-san. You apologize too, Takano-san. Tell me sorry for scaring him. Takano-san and Tomitake-san were arguing and messing around now. The strained air around his head already dissipated. Funnily enough, going back to the old save file, I'm pretty sure I did get through this because I got to the end of chapter 6, but it's been so long, I remember nothing. Punchy-chan, you should get going soon too. Min is the jealous type. If she sees me, she'll probably start a fight, so I'll just be going home. Really? Then I'll go see what Min's doing and apologize for making her wait, I guess. So we're being such a nuisance, Punchy-kun. Could you tell me and Chan we're sorry for bothering you for so long? Yeah, I don't think telling her will make her feel any better, but sure. Tomitake-san and Takano-san, standing next to each other, both began to chuckle. Okay then, Punchy-chan. Let's try and run into each other at tomorrow's festival. We'll see each other. I mean, it's us we're talking about after all. We've been making so much trouble, it'd be hard for you not to find us. She and I said a goodbye to Tomitake-san and Takano-san. Before we could leave, Takano-san called out to us. Thanks for listening so earnestly to what I had to say. You're just so good at listening. I had a great time talking to you. Weirdly, I see this picture as like a dating sim picture. Good at listening? No, not at all. I was just in a state of perpetual bewilderment from all the shocking topics being thrown at me one after another. Did you like my story today? Well, it was pretty interesting. Then I'll tell you some more sometime, okay? No, you won't. There's a lot of pretty interesting legends and fairy tales about Hinamizawa. Of course, a lot of strange and creepy ones too. I'll choose a bunch of my favorites and tell you about them. I was kind of happy, but kind of worried. I can see why. I can't help but smile dryly and scratch at my head. Oh, dry throat. Punchy-kun, you can go now. Takano-san was just messing with you. Oh, he is just messing with you. They said goodbye again and run off. I heard Tomitake-san calling out behind him in a clear voice that we would see each other at the festival tomorrow. Certainly hope so, buddy. When I went to the tent, Min was waiting for me and she was nowhere to be found. I made her wait so long. Maybe she got mad and went home. After asking some adults passing by, I heard that she went home, talking to some relatives. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But my regret for having made Mian wait wasn't enough to triumph over the impression Takano-san and Shien's uncanny story left on me. Serial murder incidents that happened 4 years in a row? Would tomorrow's events make this the 5th? And the possibility that someone from Hinamizawa was carrying this all under the guise of the curse. The queer tradition of ritual sacrifice entirely unbecoming of the Showa period we lived in. I regretted it a little, though it was too late. If none of those creepy stories had anything to do with me, then I should have just let Mian pull me away from that crowd. I felt a little ashamed about letting my cheap curiosity get the better of me. Nothing wrong with a little education, Punchy. Nothing at all. Alright. Oh, man. It's a little tough reading all this again, and I'm already out of breath. Alright, tips galore. Let's see what we got. New tips. From the scrapbook 1. Oyashira-sama's curse. In the ancient Onagafuchi village, the anger of Oyashira-sama, his curse, was feared above all. However, it is seldom stated anywhere what eventually happens, and what sort of divine judgment, curse, befalls them when Oyashira-sama is angry. From various reports, all hell will break loose. Demons will come flooding out. The miasma from hell will flood outward and kill every villager, letting not a single one escape. The ones evoking images of the village being annihilated stand out the most. These terrifying ideas of divine punishment are all in alignment with many other religious beliefs regarding the apocalypse, hell. Why? I don't understand why it's hell. Okay, and it's easy to imagine that they are just ways of convincing people to obey the teachings or to prevent such an end. Makes sense? The conditions for inciting Oyashira-sama's wrath are likely the same as the taboos in Onagafuchi village. I believe that when an act was performed that violates one of these taboos, Oyashira was termed quote-unquote angry. And in order to quell his anger, they performed the aforementioned sacrificial ritual. Dark stuff. But, if I came across this in the wiki, I would research the shit out of this, but then be really creeped out later when I sleep at night. Ugh, okay. It's from the scrapbook 2. The human sacrifice ritual. The sacrificial ritual was a simple drowning rite involving plunging sacrifices into Onagafuchi swamp, which was considered hallowed. Of the rituals of Onagafuchi village, this one was unique in that the sacrifice would sink slowly over the long course of 3 days and 3 nights. I mean, wouldn't they die within I'm pretty sure they would die in that first night. I believe that it wasn't so much that the killing of this sacrifice that was important, but rather the symbolism of them sinking at the submerging of Oyashira-sama's anger. For that purpose, they must have had a passion for learning various methods for keeping the sacrifice from sinking too quickly, to force them to sink more slowly. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell from the records, these methods were not recorded. My thoughts are that they may have used logs or similar material to create a raft, then set up a scaffold on there, hung the sacrifice with ropes, and let them sink little by little over time into the swamp. However, if that were the case, it would not be strange if the ritual implements used for such a ceremony were honored as holy and enshrined somewhere. Is that letting us know about maybe we're gonna come across them or something? And because I remember, I don't know if it was in the playthrough or if they talked about it before, but from scrapbook 3, that where Punchy was setting up, that was like the meeting place, right, of the resistance. Implements used for the ritual. Ritual tools utilized for ancient religious ceremonies are commonly referred to as implements or ritual implements, and even now some of them are enshrined on the property of there you go. So I did already read it. Property of Furuda Shrine and the 3 families. However, the identifiable tools are all decorative, and none, appear to have been used in rituals governing the dark side of Onagafuchi village. As the Edo era, I'll have to look it up, era came to a close and many traditional rituals were lost. Were they lost as well? Or perhaps buried in the darkness? I don't believe so. Both the implements used on the night of the feast of Onagakushi and those used during the sacrificial ceremony must still exist, enshrined away from the eyes of the masses. Without a doubt, they exist here, today, at this very moment in Higurashi. Whose scrapbook is this, now that I think about it? Also, I'm nearly certain where they've been enshrined. What was once locked steadfastly has for some reason changed this year to a cheap-looking padlock. He may be able to do something about such... Whose diary or whatever it is this? However, it is not far from the assembly hall, nor is it ever far from the presence of people. However, I will not give up. The night will become such a blind spot to every village in Higurashi is coming soon. Soon it will be, the Watanagashi. Woo-wee. Okay, got one more tip. I don't remember which one it was. I don't remember the scrapbooks. Maybe the detective, the big guy. The one who I think we're about to see. Looks like the cop's office. Festival's around the corner. Hey! Are you worn out already? Tomorrow's the real thing. We're gonna be partying until morning, until the very end of it all. Got it? Got it. I'll give it everything I've got. Alright then. Youth is the greatest. Good work, everyone. Tomorrow is the Watanagashi at last. Let's get some shut-eye in and save our energy for tomorrow night. Tomorrow is finally Watanagashi. Festivals are split into two groups, those who enjoy them and those who support them. The former only need prepare their minds, but the latter needs not only that, but also painstakingly crafted plans and preliminary arrangements. While a general majority attending goes about enjoying the festival without a care in the world, we'll be strained the whole way through. Why? You sure as hell know why. Because the beer after everything's over is the best damn beer you'll ever have. Yeah, beer's alright. At times like these, it's best to have energetic, physically fit people. It wouldn't be worth it if you didn't do your best until the end, enjoying it the whole way. Oh, he's here! Oyashira-sama came in, that's his name. Everyone hurried to stand up. Hello everyone, excellent work out there. You can be at ease. Thank you, sir. Not even my seniors who usually talk big about themselves can hold a candle to Oyashira-sama. We all bow as if we were one of those cheering squads of old. Kurado Oishi. Excuse me. A detective just waiting to retire. One who doesn't pay much mind to the rules and regulations and doesn't do too much in the way of real work. What a job. He looks like a Ronald man with a penchant for dirty jokes. My seniors, though, tell me he was a real fighter in his younger days, and that he may or may not have quite a heroic legend trailing behind him. Anyway, he surely had much more dignity and presence in the room than the section chief who just came with him. Everyone, I really thank you for your hard work on the preparations for the festival tomorrow. Everyone present stands upright and lends their ears to the chief's directions. We're on heavy alert for any thrill-seeking criminals expecting another incident like last year. I need all of you to focus your energy as much as possible in your mission to prevent any crimes from happening. Yes, sir. Of course, it would be best if nothing happened. However, everyone, please assume that an incident will, in fact, occur. Prevention is number one, but it probably won't be enough. Constant vigilance. Mad-Eye Moody. This year, too, someone will die and someone will disappear. There's really no doubt about it. So casual. Everyone, apart from the section chief, smiled painfully. Oyashira-sama, that won't do. We need to be more serious about this. The important part isn't to get past the night of the festival. It's to be able to quickly, swiftly, and aggressively pursue whatever does happen tomorrow night. I won't tolerate anything less than your best. Clench those cheeks! Ugh! Clenched. We're gonna rip all the oh jeez, that's graphic. We're gonna rip all the skin off the ghost of Oyashira-sama's curse. Yeah! Oh, Oyashira-sama. Still pretty dark, thinking about the last one. No, the end of the first one. The first, Higurashi. Alright, that looks like it's all the tips. We are not going to continue in this one. Second chapter 6, so this is where I ended actually, so I actually don't know anything past this, as you can tell from the other save file. Yep, sorry I've been out a bit, I don't know. Honestly, I just got kind of lazy, but trying to come back to it and trying to be more a little, I don't know, regular YouTuber, professional-ish me. Like, got an ending, a little bit of a beginning. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching, other guys. Check out my end slate or end card or whatever it's called. And I'll see you next time. Have a good summer. Bye-bye.